she didn't look 70, of Atlanta, Georgia, passed away and went to heaven. If anybody went to heaven, it was Sandra, because she was such a good person. On December 14th, 2015, she was a native of Eau Claire. She was born September 28th, 1945, to Rose and Arnie, who are right here, and her brother right here, Butch Arnold Brownell Jr. is buried right there. On September 28th, 1945, to Rose and Arnie Brownell. She's survived by her sisters, myself, Barbara Brownell of North Hollywood, California, and Linda Ingebrand of Tucson, Arizona. Sandra made contributions to many charities and was always devoted to her church. She dedicated much of her life to children, mentoring them, often taking them to Sunday school and then out to lunch afterwards. She also tutored troubled boys at the Eagle Ranch in Georgia, and neighbor children. She was known as the lady with the popsicle lady, which she happily shared with all. Sandy attended Eau Claire Memorial High School for a year, and we're not sure which year. And she later took classes at Princeton University. She was an avid reader and published poet, and she loved animals. And she kept the squirrels and the chipmunks in her apartment complex well fed and cared for. Professionally, she devoted 30 years to various administrative positions at Coca-Cola Corporation, where she made many longtime friends. And Sweet Sandy will be remembered fondly for all those lives she touched, and there were many, for her kindness, her generosity, and her compassion. Okay, that's the obituary. And then I was going to have Mark is her cousin, and Mark Sumby is going to read for us.
As Barbara mentioned, I was Sandy's cousin, and back up a little. Yeah. And Barbara chose a reading from 1 Thessalonians, which is a letter from Paul, and I think it's very appropriate for this morning. It talks about how whether we're dead or alive, we will all be reunited in Christ. But we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers and sisters, about those who have died, so that you may not grieve as others who do not have hope. For since we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so, through Jesus, God will bring with him those who have died. For this we declare to you by the word of the Lord, that we who are alive, who are left until the coming of the Lord, will by no means precede those who have died. For the Lord himself, with the cry of command, with the archangel's call, and with the sound of God's trumpet, will descend from heaven, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Then we who are alive, who are left, will be caught up in the clouds together with them to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will be with the Lord forever. Therefore, encourage one another with these words. And now we'll have Psalm 23 from Sandy's aunt.
I just wanted to say that we're all so very fond of Marilyn. She was like a second mom to us. So this is very, very meaningful.
I'm honored to
right over here so we can get you on camera for Linda. Yeah, that's your mark.
Well, this is my mark.
Very
to
good.
put on your Steve.
Oh, it was Steve. Sorry. I'm honored to be able to do this for Sandy and for these wonderful people that have been part of Homer's life and my life over the years. Thank you. I had to think, as Mark was saying, what a wonderful promise we all have to look forward. 23rd Psalm, maybe a little different version than I'm used to. Because the Lord is my shepherd, I have lets me rest in the meadow grass and leads me beside the quiet streams. He restores my failing health. He helps me do what honors him the most. Even when walking through the dark valley of death, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me, guarding, guiding all the way. You provide delicious food for me in the presence of my enemies. You have welcomed me as your guest. Blessings overflow. Your goodness and unfailing kindness shall be with me all of my life. And afterwards I will live with you forever in your home.
That's beautiful. That was beautiful. I wanted to ask anybody that would like to say something about Sandy. I would love for you to come forward. You don't have to, but if anybody, how about her high school mates there? All right, if you could come and stand right there so we could get you for Linda.
Yeah, I went to school with Sandra. I think it was a sophomore year in high school.
Oh,
And I remember the first few days, she didn't, we had to help her because she didn't know where to go or what to do or didn't know anybody. But she did good. After a while, I think she made several friends. And she was a good gal, liked her a lot. And with her sisters, Barbara and Linda, up at the farm. We always had a good time. But she was a sweet lady, and I seen her when.
did you get to kiss her? Did you just spin the bottle?
I think I did. I think I did. Which is good. But when I saw all the girls, I seen them at Arnie's funeral. I see in 2008. Last time I seen her.
Mm-hmm.
I seen Linda then too, and then Barbara.
All right, is there anybody else that would like to
Who's
say
the lady?
anything? You're more than welcome.
I'll say a couple.
Oh, okay. And you have to really stand behind here because you're so tall.
Stand
Otherwise, we're going to cut off your head. And project, Ken, because I know you have a problem with that.
Yes, I always did have a quiet voice, but anyway, I remember her coming up to Earl Cora's farm. Should be Cora and Vesper's farm, but anyway, she was always quiet, seemed a very nice person, and of course our famous spin the bottle game, and Barbara and her sisters took advantage of us farm boys dramatically, which was a highlight of our young life. So, but we all participated on our front porch, and I remember her at one of the steam engine shows that Earl had on his farm, and I don't remember you there, Barbara. Were you there when the steam engines were all there?
I didn't. I just saw the film of it.
But Sandra and Linda were there, and they'd be on the steam engines and having fun. And Butch. Butch happened to be, I got to tell this little quick story.
Sure.
Butch was driving the tractor one day when I was up on the bundle load, and he jerked the clutch a little, and I went off the back of the trailer, and they put me in the hospital for a little bit. But I never blame Butch. He didn't do it on purpose. But Sandra and the girls, they didn't do much out on the hay wagon. Maybe Linda some, but Barbara and the rest were kind of.
We were girly girls.
You were
We
city
were waiting to
kids.
play spin the bottle.
Oh, there you go. I don't know where you guys got that game from, but.
Oh, I thought you taught it to us.
All right. So anyway, that's what I remember of her, and she seemed like a very great person, just like the rest of the family.
Aw.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody else want to say anything? Okay, can you get up there?
Stay right here.
Okay, so we won't be able to get it. Okay.
I remember Sandy so often on our trips to Florida, coming or going. We'd give her a phone call, and she graciously said, come over. So we got to visit her a few times in Atlanta and that. And after a few years back now, she would call, she would write letters, and they were so precious, just like Sandy.
was very close to Ida. Do you know?
Ida Bell.
Ida Bell. She
Yes.
did not want to be called Ida Bell, but Sandra was very close. They got together, and yeah, that was very precious to her. Anybody else want to say anything? All right, then I'm going to read this. I read this when we were in Atlanta, but it's even more appropriate now. It's "Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep" by Mary Elizabeth Fry, and also Barbara, because I added a couple of little things. Karen will appreciate that, about butterflies and things that were precious to her. Do not stand at my grave and weep, and I will try not to weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. Barbara's part. I am chipmunks and squirrels and butterflies. I am roses, gardens, and babies' cries. I am the sunlight on ripened grain, which is so really wonderful here in Wisconsin. I am the sunlight on ripened grave. I am the gentle summer rain. When you awaken in the morning hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the twinkling stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. And she does, she lives on. Okay, I was just going to ask Mark to do a little closing.
This is a traditional closing, a memorial service in the Christian tradition. If you could all hold hands. Join me in prayer. Oh God, all that you have given us is yours. As first you gave Sandra to us, so now we give Sandra back to you. Receive Sandra into the arms of your mercy. Raise Sandra up with all your people. Receive us also and raise us into a new life. Help us so to love and serve in this world that we may enter into your joy in the world to come.
Okay, so if anybody likes to stay here for a few minutes, I would like to stay here for a few minutes. We have a couple of tables reserved at the Green Mill. The Brownells can't come because I'm going to see them tonight. But you're all invited to the Green Mill for a little brunch, lunch, breakfast, and thank you all so much for coming. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I know Sandra appreciates it. And I know Linda appreciates it. I know Mom and Dad and Butch and Nettie, they all appreciate it. And if any of you would come sometime and visit, I would appreciate that too. All right.
Can I say a quick word?
Yes.
I missed my cue before.
Oh, you missed your cue. Okay, Meryl.
What I was supposed to be telling you. But this has been such a wonderful family through the years. I remember when I first met in-laws and that kind of thing, and I blessed it. So thank you all of for being part of Elmer's life.
Oh, Elmer! Elmer's here too. Elmer. We love Elmer. Sandra loves Elmer. Linda loved Elmer. Butch loved Elmer. That's a good closing. That's a good closing.
And we wish Neil was here.
Oh, I know. He's ailing with a bad back.
We don't know.
Yeah, but he's here in spirit. Okay. Thank you.